Let's look at some of the setups which are setting up for possible breakout in next couple of days. So in order to find these setups, basically I start with universe, which is a combination of US common stocks plus all the foreign stocks, and you're basically running a very basic scan on it, basically looking for a stock which had a -1 or 1% move, between -1 and 1% move, and the other things are basically like price about 3. Liquidity is basically to ensure that stock has enough liquidity, and this is an important thing. Basically it focuses on stocks which has an established momentum. So uh, you're not looking at any stock which doesn't have a momentum. Now, once you have this scan, you get around 667 candidates. Obviously, those are like not all the candidate which you're looking for. Then the process is like around 10 to 15 minutes process, about which I made a video last week, where I go through all these stocks and come out with an watch list. So here is my watch list after going through those stocks, and now you will see that group 1 automotive. See, a lot of time what you will see is, well, not a lot of time, most of the time what you will see is when there is a big breakout on earnings day. uh, Sometimes if it is complete surprise, then there will be immediate rally, but most of the time that results in a sideways move or a pullback. Now here is a 3 to 4 days of pullback or a sideways move on this. So group 1 is one. Insmed, like biotechnology stocks, again similar kind of a thing which happens on in biotechnology stock. It's not earnings, but like when they come out with some news about a new drug or something, or drug trials, then they gap up and there is an immediate small reaction, but many times the real swing trading opportunity is later. So here is a stock which is setting up probably. Only thing is like you have to keep an eye on the earnings data. Earnings really don't really matter to these kind of speculative biotechnology, but the earnings is tomorrow. So keep that in mind. See again, like there's a big drop on earnings recovered. So the banks have been strong. That's a very liquid stock. See, 11.4 million shares traded. So LQ, which is like going sideways. Then you have CC, Chemors. So it's very nice near the high. It's setting up again. The earnings is 11.2, so keep that in mind. This is a pullback, orderly pullback. Now this can bounce back many times. Like you get these kind of pullbacks, and then there is a 1 or 2 days bounce. So obviously this is, you have to play it accordingly. May not be a multi-day kind of trade. NGSCC established momentum. This is the first phase. This would have been also a nice anticipation setup, but obviously it didn't have a momentum. So you can also scan for these kind of setups also, using another kind of a scan where you look for 1% but look for a breakout instead of looking for a anticipation setup. So this is NGSC, and for those of you who are interested, I will share a scan about this later. MTOR, again this is going sideways. When the stock goes sideways for a long period of time, it becomes not such a nice anticipation setup. A nice anticipation setup is like 3 to 4 days, ideal kind of a situation. This, when it goes such a long period, then it needs a convincing breakout. CZZ. Then you have CAT, which is a recent earnings and a very orderly pullback on a low volume. HII again, like going sideways. High price stock. Red Hat. This is very nice setup. Like say here near high, it's really within like 1% of the high and setting up very nicely. That's like really the best of the setups. Then you have 5 below, which is again like near the high, but earnings is, there is a time 11.7, so there is time on this one also. Couple of days, 4 or 5 days. So this is going sideways. PI, this is recent earning, did have a breakout today, almost went up $2, then faded. So that's like the problem. X-ray dent supply, it's like, and I see this kind of a moves makes me a little bit wary, but like, and it's setting up nicely. 11.3, again earnings in 2 days. Jacobson Engineering, again some of these kind of things are more like when they break out, these kind of setups are actually the one which can go up for 5 to 10 days because they have a longer base formed on them. VNet, which is another very nice setup basically. So then you have Agilent Technology, 11.20. VNet earnings is 11.27, so there's time. Ross, which is again setting up very nicely. It's one of those retailers which is like been doing well for some time, years. If you see, like it's one of those been going up for ages. So it's been going up consistently. So, but that's like setting up for possible breakout. DXC, which is a recent IPO. See, recent IPO came out in April, going sideways here. Has been a little bit choppy, but then you have Pure Storage, which is like going sideways near the high side, which is another nice setup. 11.8 is the earnings. You have to be like this earnings season, so you have to be careful. That's a very nice setup. This is after the earnings. Will offer you a very low risk, and this is the kind of setup where, like, say, if it takes off tomorrow, your stop can be like $2 to $3 or even closer, and then if it takes off, you can put in a lot more capital at work on a high price stock like that. Then you have Bright House. This is again an IPO. Dynequity, the earnings is on 11.9. Orion Engineering Corporation, this is earnings is tomorrow. So some of these have earnings tomorrow. So obviously that's a risk factor. Earnings is on 11.6. YPF. This already I had one trade in this. Now it's going sideways. That looks nice. But the earnings is 11.15, so that is not bad. Then you have HPQ, which is like in a pullback. However, volume was high in that pullback a little bit, so I'm skeptical. Cytomatics. See, biotechnology stocks are the one which are really doing well in the market currently. This had like a setup here and then had a breakout. So again setting up. So that's nice. So then you have Regal Pharmaceuticals, which is again drug-related stock. These stocks have been doing well, and that's like a nice setup. Zinebra and other biotechnology stocks, very nice setup here. So that's, and this one I'm still watching an app, which is like if it makes a move, it is going to make a big move. That's really the key to these kind of setups. These are these can work very well. Okay. So even though I have like around 34 setups, in reality, the one which I'll be keenly watching will be probably this 4 to 5 GPI Red Hat. That's really the best of the lot. VNet plus it's a high priced one, 121, and see if you see today like 43 cents. So if you can get in with a $1 or $2 stop, it is, if it breaks out, it is likely to make $10 to $12 move. See here it made a this was $9 move. So for risking $2, if you can make $9, that's always a good trade. Amazon, very nice setup. That's a very nice. YPF, CityMax, Regal, Zinebra, and ANAP. So you have to look at. This is not the only thing which I trade. This is one of the methods which I trade basically. In addition to that, I also trade breakouts, and breakouts also offer you a good opportunity to make profit if you get in at the right time on the right kind of a breakout. So anticipation always is a better option if you can find situation where your stop is very close. So that's really the key. And also it gives you a time to plan your trade. You know where the earnings is. You can put in an order in about these price levels, or you can and if you're a full-time trader, obviously you can watch them real time and get in as they break out.